How to make a floral bow. The first step is to find a chenille stem. I usually try to use a color that matches the bow, but in this case I'm using bright pink so it'll show up. The first thing you do is bend that chenille stem into a hairpin shape, something like this, and you lay it aside close by at the ready. The next step is to find your ribbon. I usually get dollar store ribbon, this gorgeous ribbon with wire edging. Wire edging makes a better bow. A little bit of glitter throughout it, nice silver touch alongside of the green. Was only $1, and what I do, there's usually 10 yards I believe, or 9 to 10 yards on a roll, and I take that off of the roll so it'll be easy to use. Make sure before I start that it doesn't have any wire edges that are sticking out that might cut me. This is ready to go. To make the bow, I leave about 10 inches of tail, and I make sure that the right side of the bow or the ribbon is facing upward. This is a 9-foot or 3-yard roll of ribbon. I use my left hand for holding and my right hand is my working hand. To start, I make a loop about that size, I guess 3 or 4 inches. And the most important part of the whole routine of making a bow is to twist the bottom of the ribbon every time you make a loop. So I make the next loop going downward. I hold it with my left hand and I twist before I start the next loop. The next loop I make a little bit bigger, about that big. I hold it with my left hand and I twist. The bottom loop goes off to the right, a little bit bigger, like that. And before I start again, I twist. Now opposite that other loop up here, I make one the same size to the left, grab and twist. Back to the bottom, the right side of the ribbon is still facing me. I grab, I twist. Now these last 4 loops go more toward the middle again. And I grab and twist. This is a little bit longer again. And I make all the last 4 that same size. Now, if the ribbon was just a little bit longer, I'd have a little bit more tail left at the end, but as it is, I have just enough. There's about that much left over. So I hold that tight, and at this point I need that paper clip shaped chenille stem, and I, going downwards, loop it around the bow. Both ends come up, and I pull that tight as I'm twisting the stem. Don't twist it too much or it'll crack and your bow will go all over the place. And at this point the bow looks kind of funny like this, but I use my 2 fingers, index and middle, and I put it inside and kind of just round the loops out and twist them in the directions I want them to go. And you end up with a really pretty Christmas bow. Oblong. If you want it to be round, what you would do is make all the loops the same size and make them a little bit shorter. But I like this look, the oblong bow. I think it's a little more modern in appearance than the typical big round Christmas bow. And I'll probably put this at the top of my tiny little Christmas tree in my living room. And you just keep playing with it. And by twisting that after each loop, you have all the right side of the ribbon up instead of having some with the right side, some with the bottom. It makes a nice looking bow. At least I think so. Give it a try. I'll have the more directions in my blog posts. Merry Christmas!